Captain Hana Kim stood on the bridge of the Earth diplomatic vessel Subtle Deception, watching the stars streak by through the main view screen. Her dark eyes reflected the blue-white glow of faster-than-light travel as she checked the ship's system displays. She wore a simple gray uniform with a single gold stripe on each shoulder, marking her as the commander of this secret mission. "Captain, we will reach the Confederacy border checkpoint in 4 hours," said June Park, her second-in-command. June had been her friend since childhood, and they had risen through Earth's Defense Force together. Hana nodded. "Call the senior crew for our final briefing. We need to make sure everyone remembers their part." An hour later, 6 officers sat around the conference table. The ship's emblem, a smiling mask hiding behind a serious one, hung on the wall behind them. "Let's go over the mission once more," Hana said, tapping a control that showed a holographic map of Confederacy space. "For over 400 years, humanity has had faster-than-light travel. For 300 years, we have been watching other species without them knowing. Now Earth wants to join the Galactic Confederacy officially, but we must still hide our true power." "Engineer." Jin Kang raised his hand. "Why must we pretend to be less advanced? We could help many species with our technology." "That's exactly why," replied Dr. Hyun Lee, the AI specialist. Her fingers moved quickly over her tablet as she spoke. "When advanced species meet less advanced ones in the galaxy, it often ends badly for the weaker group. Earth doesn't want to scare the Confederacy. We don't want them to see us as a threat." Security Chief Min Choi nodded. His broad shoulders tensed as he added, "Or make them want to steal our technology." "Exactly," Hana confirmed. "Our orders are clear. We show them only the show layer technology. The Confederacy must think we only just discovered faster-than-light travel 20 years ago." Communications Officer Dae Song looked up from his notes. "What if they ask about our history? Our wars? Our development?" "Tell the truth, but not all of it," Hana answered. "Earth had many wars, then peace, then reached for the stars. That's all true. Just leave out that we've been exploring the galaxy for centuries while they thought we were still using radio signals." Science Officer Su Yoon adjusted her glasses and pointed to the hologram. "Their scans will detect our ship's power systems. The fake reactor must seem real." Jin nodded. "Don't worry. I've installed special systems that make our advanced tech look like crude versions. If they scan us, they'll see exactly what we want them to see. A young species with promising but basic technology." Hana stood up and walked around the table. "Remember, everyone, act impressed by their technology. Show respect for their advanced systems. Ask questions about how things work even though we already know the answers." "Won't that feel like lying?" June asked, his face serious. Hana put her hand on his shoulder. "It is lying, but for a good reason. Earth's leaders believe this is the safest way to join galactic society. If they knew how far ahead we really are, they might feel threatened. We want to be friends, not conquerors or targets." The crew nodded in understanding. "One last thing," Hana added. "No one uses the hidden technology unless I give the order. Not even in an emergency. Our mission is too important." 4 hours later, the Subtle Deception slowed as it approached the massive space station that served as the Confederacy's border checkpoint. The ship looked purposely unimpressive from the outside, a somewhat blocky design with visible seams and standard engine glows. "Confederacy Control Station, this is Earth Vessel Subtle Deception," Day called into the communication system. "Requesting permission to approach." A blue-skinned alien face appeared on the screen. The being had 4 eyes and spoke in a deep voice. "Earth Vessel, transmit your identification and purpose." "Transmitting now," Day replied, sending the carefully prepared documents. "We are a diplomatic vessel seeking formal introduction to the Galactic Confederacy." The alien studied something off-screen, then nodded slowly. "Proceed to Docking Bay 7. Prepare for customs inspection." When the transmission ended, Hana turned to her crew. "Remember your training. The show begins now." The Subtle Deception docked smoothly at the massive station. Through the viewports, they could see dozens of alien ships, some elegant and streamlined, others bulky and practical, Each represented a different species and civilization. "Look suitably impressed," Hana whispered as the airlock cycled open. 3 Confederacy officials entered the ship. The leader was tall with greenish-gray skin and long arms. The name translator identified him as High Counselor Vrex of the Altarian Dominion. "Welcome," Vrex said, his translator converting his clicking speech into English. "I am assigned to assess your species' readiness to join our confederacy." Hana bowed slightly. "We are honored by your presence, High Counselor. We look forward to learning from your wisdom." Vrex's 4 eyes blinked in sequence as he looked around the bridge. A functional vessel, if somewhat basic. His tone carried a hint of superiority. "I see you've managed to achieve stable artificial gravity. That's quite an achievement for a species at your development stage." Behind Hana, June coughed quietly to hide a laugh. The humans had mastered artificial gravity before they reached Mars. "Thank you," Hana replied with practiced humility. "We're very proud of our recent advances." "We'll need to inspect your propulsion systems," another official said, consulting a device that resembled a tablet. "Of course," Hana agreed. "Our engineer will show you our faster-than-light drive. It's only our 2nd generation of the technology." As Jin led the officials toward engineering, he gave Hana a subtle nod. The fake engine room was ready, with just enough real technology to seem impressive, but not too advanced. "While they inspect your systems, perhaps you would like a tour of our station," Vrex offered. "Most new species find our technology quite overwhelming." His tone suggested he expected the humans to be amazed. "We would be honored," Hana replied with a perfectly measured smile. "We have much to learn from the Confederacy." As they prepared to leave the ship, Dr. Hyun whispered to Hana, "The hidden systems are all masked. They'll only see what we want them to see." Hana nodded slightly and followed Vrex off the ship, ready to play her part in humanity's greatest deception. Behind her pleasant expression, her mind calculated every move in this dangerous game of pretend. The charade had begun. High Counselor Vrex led Captain Hana and Commander June through the massive Confederacy station. The curved hallways were filled with aliens of many shapes and sizes. Some had 6 legs, others floated in the air, and a few were just clouds of gas in special containers. "This is the main hub," Vrex said proudly. "From here, 37 different species work together to manage galactic affairs." Hana forced her eyes to widen in fake amazement. "It's incredible," she said. In truth, Earth had built larger stations 2 centuries ago. June pointed at a glowing blue wall. "What is this technology?" he asked, knowing full well it was just a standard energy field. Vrex puffed up with pride. "That is our latest containment field. It can stop almost any known weapon." He leaned closer. "Most young species like yours find this quite impressive." "Oh, it is," June said with practiced wonder. Under his breath, he whispered to Hana, "My daughter made something better for her science project last year." Hana gave him a warning look but kept her fake smile in place. They continued the tour, meeting representatives from various alien worlds. Each greeted the humans with different levels of interest or caution. Many seemed to look down on them as newcomers. A tall, thin alien with metallic skin approached them. "So these are the humans," she said, her voice coming through the translator, with a musical quality. "I am Ambassador Trell of the Dravid Collective. We are interested in your species' rapid development." Something in her tone made Security Chief Min step closer to Hana. The Dravid were known to be one of the most technologically advanced species in the Confederacy. "We've been fortunate," Hana replied carefully. "But we still have much to learn." Trell's silver eyes narrowed. "Indeed, I would very much like to see your vessel. Your faster-than-light drive design must be fascinating for a young species." Before Hana could answer, Communications Officer Day stepped forward. "We would be honored to show you our ship," he said smoothly. "Though I'm afraid some areas are undergoing repairs after our long journey." "How convenient," Trell said coldly. High Counselor Vrex interrupted. "The official welcome ceremony begins in 1 hour. You should prepare yourselves, humans. The full council will be evaluating your petition for membership. Back on the subtle deception, the crew gathered quickly. The Dravid are suspicious, Min said, checking his security tablet. Their technology is only about 50 years behind what we're pretending to have. Dr. Hyun nodded. Their AI systems are actually quite good. If they get past our outer security layers, they might detect our true capabilities. Then we don't let them past those layers, Hana decided. Jin, make sure the fake engine room is extra convincing. Sue, prepare scientific data that shows reasonable progress but nothing too advanced. What about the Dravid tour? June asked. We'll give them a carefully controlled look, Hana replied. Dai handled it well. We'll show engine damage that conveniently blocks access to sensitive areas. An hour later, they stood in the Grand Council chamber. The room was circular with rising seats where representatives from all Confederacy worlds watched them. The humans wore their dress uniforms and stood straight, aware of all the alien eyes judging them. High Counselor Vrek stood at the central podium. Distinguished council members, I present the representatives from Earth, seeking admission to our Confederacy. A large, orange-skinned alien with 4 arms spoke first. Their level of technology barely meets our minimum standards. Why should we accept them? We have reviewed their history, another council member said. This one looked like a giant insect. Humans have a violent past, many wars, much destruction of their own world before they found balance. Hana stepped forward. Respected council members, it's true that humanity has made mistakes. We fought wars, we damaged our planet. But we learned from these errors. We united our world and now seek to join the greater galactic community, not to take, but to contribute and learn. Her words were carefully chosen, all true yet hiding so much. Humans had indeed united, but that was over 300 years ago, not the recent event the council assumed. A blue-skinned delegate raised a tentacle. Your species developed faster than light travel only 20 years ago, according to your records. That's unusually quick progress. Su Yoon, the science officer, answered this question as planned. We were fortunate to discover certain physical principles that led to our breakthrough. It was a happy accident during quantum research. This explanation seemed to satisfy most of the council, though Ambassador Trell of the Dravid Collective still watched them with suspicion. The debate continued for another hour. Some council members supported Earth's admission, while others worried that humans might not be ready. Finally, Vrex called for a vote. Those in favor of granting Earth provisional membership in the Galactic Confederacy? More than half the lights on the council board turned green. Those opposed, about a third of the lights turned red, including the Dravid representatives. Abstaining? The remaining few lights turned yellow. Vrex nodded formally. The motion passes. Earth is granted provisional membership for a trial period of 1 standard galactic year. During this time, humanity will learn our laws and customs, and we will evaluate their readiness for full membership. Hana bowed deeply. The people of Earth thank you for this opportunity. As the ceremony ended, the human crew exchanged subtle looks of relief. Phase 1 of their mission was complete. They had gained entry to the Confederacy without revealing their true capabilities. At the reception that followed, aliens from many worlds approached the humans with questions or offers of trade agreements. Hana and her crew answered carefully, always playing their roles as newcomers eager to learn. Ambassador Trell watched from a distance, her metallic face unreadable. When Hana looked over, the Dravid ambassador raised her drink in a silent toast that somehow felt more like a challenge. She's going to be trouble, June whispered. We can handle it, Hana replied quietly. Remember, we've been playing this game for centuries. They've just started. As the reception continued, news arrived that surprised everyone. The Confederacy's Scientific Council announced that unusual activity had been detected in a nearby star. Several species expressed concern, but most dismissed it as a natural phenomenon. Only Dr. Hyun, monitoring the reports through her hidden advanced systems, realized the truth. The star was showing early signs of instability that could lead to a catastrophic event, something the Confederacy's technology wasn't advanced enough to detect yet. She caught Hana's eye across the room and gave a subtle hand signal. Something was very wrong, and their mission had just become much more complicated. 3 days after Earth gained provisional membership in the Confederacy, Dr. Hyun Lee rushed into Captain Hana's private quarters on the subtle deception. Her face was pale, and she held her data tablet so tightly her knuckles were white. "Captain, we have a serious problem," she said, her voice low and urgent. "That star activity I noticed, it's going to explode." Hana stood up quickly. "A supernova? Are you certain?" Hyun nodded and placed her tablet on the desk. It showed complex readings that only someone with Earth's advanced technology could understand. "Our hidden sensors are detecting patterns the Confederacy systems can't see yet. The star will go supernova in approximately 36 hours. When it does, the radiation and shockwave will hit this entire sector." "How bad?" Hana asked, already knowing the answer. "Bad enough to kill billions. This hub station, 3 major colony worlds, and dozens of outposts are all in the danger zone." Hana pressed a button on her desk. "Senior crew to my quarters. Emergency. Meeting. Now." 10 minutes later, her officers stood in a circle around the holographic display showing the star's condition. "Can the Confederacy evacuate in time?" June asked. Min shook his head. "Not everyone. Their ships are too slow. Maybe they could save 20% of the population at most." Jin studied the data. "Their shields won't hold either. Not against a blast this size." "So what do we do?" Day asked, looking around at his fellow officers. "We could save ourselves easily with our real technology, but we're supposed to be hiding it." Hana paced the room. "Earth's orders were clear. Don't reveal our true capabilities under any circumstances." "But billions will die," Sue said quietly. "People who could be saved." The room fell silent. Everyone knew what was at stake. "Our shields could protect this entire sector," Jin finally said. "The gravitational displacement system was designed for exactly this kind of stellar event, but using it would expose us," Min countered. "The Confederacy would know immediately that we've been lying about our technology level." June looked directly at Hana. "What's more important, our mission or saving lives?" Before Hana could answer, Day's communicator beeped. "Captain, High Counselor. Frex is requesting an emergency meeting with all new member representatives. Their scientists have just detected the star's instability." "Tell him we'll be right there," Hana ordered. Then she turned to her crew. "Let me see what the Confederacy plans to do first. Be ready for anything." At the emergency council session, the chamber was filled with worried voices. Representatives from many worlds argued about evacuation priorities and available ships. Brex called for order. "Our scientists confirm that the Talon star will go supernova within 2 days. We have begun emergency evacuations, but time is limited. We must decide which populations have priority." The arguments grew louder. Larger, more powerful worlds demanded their people be saved first. Smaller colonies begged for help. Ambassador Trell of the Dravid Collective stood. "The Dravid have the fastest ships. We will evacuate our people and offer remaining space to others, prioritizing those with valuable scientific knowledge." "So you'll only save the smart ones?" An insect-like representative chittered angrily. "What about our children?" As the debate grew heated, Hana exchanged glances with her crew members seated around the chamber. They had all received the same emergency briefing from Hyun. The Confederacy's plans would fail. Too many would die. Hana stood up. The room gradually quieted as people noticed the human representative waiting to speak. "The people of Earth may have a solution," she said carefully. "We have been developing an experimental shield technology that might protect against the supernova's effects." Ambassador Trell's metallic face showed clear disbelief. "Impossible. Your species couldn't possibly have such technology. Gravitational shielding is theoretical at best, even for the most advanced Confederacy worlds." Vrex looked at Hana with sudden hope. "Is this true? Can your shields protect us?" "The technology is experimental," Hana said, choosing her words carefully. "We've never tested it on this scale. But yes, We believe it could work. Why haven't you mentioned this capability before? Trell demanded, suspicion clear in her voice. June stepped forward. Because it's not reliable yet. The system is unstable and might fail. We didn't want to offer false hope. The council chamber erupted in conversation. Vrex called for silence. How quickly can this shield be deployed? He asked. We would need to modify our ship's systems, Hana replied. With help from Confederacy engineers, we might be ready just before the supernova hits. Vrex didn't hesitate. You have whatever resources you need. Back on the subtle deception, the human crew gathered in the engine room. How are we going to do this? Jin asked. Our real shields could easily protect everyone, but we can't just reveal that technology. We need to make our advanced tech look experimental, Hana decided. Jin, modify the shield emitters to look less refined. Hyun, program the systems to appear unstable even though they're perfectly functional. So we'll save everyone but still pretend to be less advanced? Sue asked. Exactly, Hana nodded. When the shield activates, make it flicker and make alarming noises. It needs to look like we barely managed it. For the next day, human engineers worked alongside Confederacy scientists. The humans pretended to struggle with problems they could have fixed in minutes. They installed their advanced technology but disguised it to look crude and experimental. This is like pretending you don't know how to ride a bike when you're a professional cyclist, Jin muttered as he intentionally made a perfect system look flawed. As they worked, Min noticed something strange. Captain, he said quietly, pulling Hana aside. I think someone's been in our secure systems. Some of the access codes have been reset. Trell? Hana asked. Possibly. The Dravid are suspicious of us. They might be trying to learn our secrets. Double security on all critical systems, Hana ordered. We can't let them see what we're really capable of, not even now. Hours later, the modified shield projectors were in place around the station and nearby planets. Jin reported that the system was ready, though to Confederacy eyes it looked barely functional. Vrex stood with Hana on the station's main control deck. Your people have worked miracles, he said. But will it be enough? Hana watched the main view screen where the distant star was already beginning to pulsate ominously. We're about to find out. In the ship's hidden control room, Dr. Hyun monitored the star's final moments through Earth's advanced sensors. Supernova beginning now, she reported through Hana's private communicator. Shield activation in 3, 2, 1. The massive, gravitational shield, technology Earth had perfected centuries ago, sprang to life around the entire sector. But as planned, it flickered and wavered, appearing to struggle against the massive forces of the exploding star. On the station's control deck, alarms blared as the view screen showed the star erupting in a blinding flash of light. Shield integrity. Failing! Jin shouted for dramatic effect, even though the system was performing perfectly. The station shook as the supernova's shockwave reached them. The shield flickered dramatically, all for show, as billions of lives hung in the balance. The control room of the Confederacy station shook violently. Aliens of various species held onto consoles and railings as the supernova's energy battered the shield surrounding them. Shield power dropping to 60%, Jin shouted, though he knew the actual level was steady at full strength. The humans had agreed to make their technology appear to struggle to maintain their cover. On the main screen, the shield flickered dramatically, all carefully programmed by Dr. Hyun to look unstable. Alarms blared, adding to the tension. Hi. Counselor Vrex watched with wide eyes. Can your system hold, Captain Kim? We're doing everything we can, Hana replied. She pressed her communicator. Hyun, we need more power to the shield generators. I'm trying, Captain, Hyun answered over the channel, playing her part perfectly. The system wasn't designed for this kind of stress. The station rocked again. Several Confederacy engineers worked frantically at their stations trying to understand the human technology that was supposedly saving their lives. This shield design shouldn't work at all, one of them muttered. The power requirements alone should be impossible for their level of technology. Ambassador Trell stood in the corner, her metallic face showing no emotion, but her silver eyes narrowed in suspicion. She whispered something to another Dravid, who nodded and quietly left the room. Security Chief Min noticed this exchange and edged closer to Hana. The Dravid are up to something, he whispered. I should check our ship. Go, Hana ordered quietly. Take June with you. As Min and June slipped away, the station shook again, this time genuinely. Something was wrong. Captain. Hyun's voice came through Hana's private earpiece, away from the Confederacy communication channels. We have an actual problem. Someone has tampered with the secondary shield controls. The system is genuinely becoming unstable. Hana's face showed real concern now. Can you fix it? Yes, but I'll need to use our real systems, not just the show. Layer. Hana hesitated only a moment. Do what you have to. Save these people. On the subtle deception, Min and June moved silently through the corridors. The ship seemed empty. All crew members were either at their emergency stations or helping with the shield operations. There, Min whispered, pointing to a shadow moving. Near the main computer core. Someone's inside our secure area. They approached carefully. Inside the room, 3 Dravid technicians were working on the ship's systems, bypassing security protocols with advanced tools. Stop, Min called out, drawing his standard-issue weapon, deliberately less advanced than what humans really used. Step away from the controls. The Dravid turned, their metallic faces showing surprise. The leader activated a communication device. We've been discovered. Proceed with... Min fired his weapon, but the stun blast bounced off an energy shield. Around the Dravid. Their personal shields are too strong, June said. We can't stop them with these weapons. The Dravid pulled out their own weapons, sleek silver devices that even the Confederacy considered highly advanced. You humans are hiding something, the leader said. We're going to find out what. Energy blasts tore through the room. Min and June took cover behind a bulkhead. We can't win this fight with our fake weapons, Min said urgently. June nodded grimly. Captain's orders were clear. Don't reveal our true capabilities, but if they disable our shield controls, billions die. He made his decision. Cover me. As Min fired his weapon to distract the Dravid, June reached into his boot and pulled out a small silver device, a weapon far beyond what humans had claimed to possess. He pressed a hidden button on his uniform and a personal shield. Technology the Confederacy thought was centuries away, flickered to life around him. He stepped out from cover. The Dravid fired, but their blasts dissipated against June's advanced shield. Their silver eyes widened in shock. That's not possible, one of them said. Your species doesn't have that technology. June's advanced weapon hummed to life. I'm sorry about this, he said, and fired. A pulse of blue energy spread across the room, disabling the Dravid weapons and shields instantly. The 3 aliens froze in place, caught in a stasis field. The captain's going to be upset, Min said, looking at the now exposed advanced technology. Better than letting everyone die, June replied. He turned to the computer core. They've planted some kind of virus in our shield systems. That's why the shields are actually failing now. On the station, real alarms were now mixing with the fake ones. The shield was genuinely starting to fail in some sectors. Captain, we're losing coverage in Section 4, a Confederacy engineer shouted. Hana received a private message from June explaining the situation. She made a quick decision. Hyun, remove all restrictions, she ordered through her private channel. Use our real technology. Full power to the shields. That will expose us, Hyun warned. We have no choice. The Dravid already know. Save these people. On the hidden deck of the subtle deception, Dr. Hyun accessed the ship's true computer core, a quantum system far beyond Confederacy technology. Her fingers flew across the controls as she activated systems that had been kept hidden for centuries. On the station, the shield display suddenly changed. The flickering stopped. The energy field around the entire sector stabilized and strengthened. The supernova's radiation and shockwaves slammed against it but could not break through. The Confederacy engineers stared at their readings in disbelief. The shield just jumped to. This can't be right, one of them said. Power levels are beyond anything we've ever recorded. High Counselor Vrex turned to Hana, his eyes wide. What just happened? Before Hana could answer, Ambassador Trell stormed into the control room. They've been lying to us. The humans have technology far beyond what they claimed. My agents discovered their deception before they were captured. The room fell silent as all eyes turned to Hana. Vrex looked betrayed. Is this true, Captain Kim? Hana stood tall and looked around the room at the representatives of 37 alien species, all alive because of Earth's hidden technology. Yes, she said simply. Humanity has been selective about what we've shared with the Confederacy. For how long? Vrex asked, his voice quiet. We've had faster-than-light travel for over 400 years, not 20, Hana admitted. We've been observing the galaxy for centuries. Gasps and murmurs filled the room. The Confederacy representatives looked shocked, angry, and frightened all at once. Why? Vrex demanded. Why would you hide this from us? Why pretend to be less advanced? Look at your reaction now, Hana said calmly. Fear, suspicion. Throughout galactic history, when technologically superior species meet less advanced ones, it rarely ends well for either side. We wanted to join the galactic community as equals, not as a threat or a target. The supernova continued to rage outside, but the shield held firm, undeniable proof of humanity's true capabilities. You saved us with technology you kept hidden, Vrex said slowly, trying to process this revelation. We did, Hana agreed, and we would make the same choice again. Ambassador Trell pushed forward. They cannot be trusted. Who knows what other weapons and technologies they possess? The humans must be quarantined immediately. Their worlds must be contained before they become a threat to us all. Several council members nodded in agreement, fear clear on their alien faces. June and Min returned to the control room, followed by security officers escorting the detained Dravid agents. Before you judge us, June said loudly, you should know that Ambassador Trell's agents sabotaged our shield systems. They were willing to let billions die just to expose our technology level. New shock rippled through the room as all eyes turned to the Dravid ambassador. Is this how the Confederacy treats those who save lives? Hana asked. With fear and accusations? High Counselor Vrex looked from the humans to Trell and back again. The nearby star continued to burn with deadly fury outside, held at bay only by human technology that had just saved countless lives. The future of human relations with the galaxy hung in the balance. The main council chamber was packed. Representatives from all 37 Confederacy species had gathered for what many called the most important meeting in galactic history. The supernova crisis had passed, its deadly energy held back by human technology, but a new kind of tension filled the room. Captain Hana Kim stood in the center facing the full Galactic Council. Her crew stood behind her in a show of unity. The shield was still active outside, protecting billions of lives, while also serving as undeniable proof of humanity's deception. High Counselor Vrex called the chamber to order. This emergency session will address the revelation that humans have hidden their true technological capabilities from the Confederacy. Ambassador Trell stood immediately. The humans have admitted to spying on us for centuries. They possess technology far beyond what they claimed. They are a clear threat to galactic security and must be contained. Several council members nodded in agreement. Fear was a powerful force, and humanity now seemed dangerous in a way no one had expected. Hana stepped forward. The room quieted as she began to speak. Yes, we have hidden our true capabilities, she said clearly. For over 400 years, humanity has traveled among the stars. We watched and learned about other species without interfering. Why? Vrex asked. Why the deception? Look at our galaxy's history, Hana replied. When advanced species meet less developed ones, what usually happens? The stronger exploit or destroy the weaker. The weaker fear or worship the stronger. Neither leads to true friendship or cooperation. She gestured to the diverse aliens around the room. We wanted to join the galactic community as equals, not as conquerors or gods. We hid our technology so you would see us as people, not as a threat or a prize. Pretty words, Trell scoffed. But your actions prove you cannot be trusted. June stepped forward. Our actions? We just saved billions of lives using technology we could have kept hidden. Your agents tried to sabotage our shields, putting all those lives at risk just to expose us. Murmurs spread through the chamber. Many had not yet heard about the Dravid sabotage. Rex looked at Trell. Is this true, Ambassador? Before Trell could respond, Science Officer Su-Yun approached with a data tablet. We have proof. The sabotage program contained Dravid coding markers. And there's something else. Something much worse. The room went silent as Sue connected her tablet to the main display system. We analyzed the supernova using our advanced sensors. This was not a natural event. Gasps filled the chamber as data and images appeared on the large screen. The star was artificially triggered to collapse, Sue explained. Someone deliberately caused this disaster. Communications Officer Day stepped forward. We found communication, records between certain Dravid ships and a secret installation near the star. The communications stopped just before the star became unstable. All eyes turned to Ambassador Trell, whose metallic face now showed the first signs of emotion. Fear. This is a human trick, she said, but her voice lacked conviction. Why would anyone do this? A council member asked in horror. Dr. Hyun joined her crewmates. We believe it was a test. The Dravid Collective wanted to see how advanced species would respond to a crisis. They may have expected their technology to be sufficient to save their own people, while other less advanced species perished. They didn't count on us having better technology than them, Jin added. The council erupted in angry shouts. Trell backed away as security officers moved toward her. Order! Vrex shouted above the noise. We will investigate these claims fully. When the room quieted again, Vrex turned to Hana. Even if what you say about the Dravid is true, the fact remains that humanity has deceived the Confederacy. What are we to do with this knowledge? Hana looked around the chamber, meeting the eyes, or eye equivalents, of many different species. This was the moment that would define humanity's place in the galaxy. I propose a new beginning, she said. Yes, we hid our true capabilities, but now you know us for what we really are. We offer partnership, not dominance. We can share some of our technology, particularly medical and defensive systems, while maintaining reasonable safeguards. She walked in a small circle, addressing all sides of the chamber. For centuries, the Confederacy has ranked species by their technology level. The advanced look down on the developing. Is that truly the best way to build a galactic community? Many council members shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Humanity suggests a different approach, Hana continued. Judge species by their actions, their ethics, their willingness to help others, not by their technology level. We saved billions of lives today because it was the right thing to do, not because we had something to gain. High Counselor Vrex was quiet for a long moment, considering her words. Finally, he asked, How much of your technology are you still hiding from us, Captain Kim? Hana smiled slightly. Enough to defend ourselves if needed, enough to help if allowed. But we have no desire to rule or control. Earth has learned that knowledge without wisdom is dangerous. Power without compassion is destructive. The Council debated for hours. Some members remained fearful of humanity's power. Others were grateful for their intervention during the crisis. A few were simply curious about what humans might teach them. Eventually, Vrex called for a final vote. The question before the Council is whether to accept humanity's offer of partnership and reform the Confederacy's approach to interspecies relations. The voting lights began to flicker across the great board. One by one, green lights of approval outnumbered the red lights of rejection. The motion carries, Vrex announced. Humanity is accepted as a full member of the Confederacy, with the understanding that technological exchange will proceed carefully and under mutual oversight. The tension in the room broke. Representatives began talking excitedly about the possibilities this new arrangement might bring. As the formal session ended, Vrex approached Hana privately. You must understand, Captain, that trust will take time to rebuild. We understand, Hana replied. Earth has been patient for centuries. We can be patient a while longer. Your people's deception was wrong, Rex said firmly. But your actions during the crisis were right. That counts for much. A week later, the subtle deception prepared to return to Earth. The ship no longer needed to hide its true nature, though many systems remained classified. On the bridge, Hana's crew gathered for a final moment together before departure. Do you think we did the right thing? June asked, as they watched the stars through the viewscreen. Which part? Hana replied with a small smile. Hiding for centuries or revealing ourselves to save lives? Both, I suppose. Hana considered this. I think we did the best we could with the knowledge we had. That's all anyone can do. Dr. Hyun looked up from her console. They're still stunned by our gravitational shield technology. Wait until they see our medical systems and terraforming capabilities. Are we sharing those too? Min asked. Some of them, Hana confirmed. But not all. Earth still has its secrets. Jin laughed. The look on the Dravid engineer's face when he saw our actual engine room was priceless. As the ship prepared to jump to faster-than-light speed, no longer pretending to be slower than it was, Hana gave the order to depart. Next stop, Earth. Let's go home and prepare for a new chapter in galactic history. The subtle deception vanished in a flash of light, traveling far faster than any Confederacy ship could follow. Humanity had stepped out of the shadows at last, not as conquerors or as saviors, but as equals with a unique perspective to offer the galaxy. As they traveled, Sue asked a question that was on everyone's mind. Do you think they'll ever be ready for the truth about our quantum communication system or our dimensional research? One step at a time, Hana replied with a knowing smile. Some secrets are best saved for the future. The galaxy isn't ready for everything yet. Behind them, the stars stretched into lines of light as the ship accelerated into the depths of space, carrying the first open ambassadors of humanity back to a world that had watched the galaxy from afar for centuries and was finally ready to join it on its own terms.